Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at pitching for today, the 12th of September. It is Thursday. We do have just a 3-game day slate, 5-game main slate. Not many games, but I thought I'd just throw some names out here to get us started for the day. Uh, It is a first look, and I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you play on FanDuel, I would cut my pool into about a half probably today. Pressing isn't as tight, and the scoring system slightly different. Kind of forces us to focus uh, on some main guys over there. Let's just dig in quick. I haven't seen anything about weather today, so I'm going to just go under the assumption that we are good to go. Um, Looking at this three gamer, it's pretty clear, where we want to go. It's going to be with the three guys at the top. Scooble, who probably ends up the AL Cy Young winner, taking on Colorado. We've been picking on them nonstop. He's a minus 265 favorite. Game total of 7. I assume probably a K prop around 7.5. It's actually at 8.5 with juice on the under. Then you get Sonny Gray, K prop of 5.5 with juice on the over as a minus 180 favorite against a Red squad that definitely let me down yesterday against Lance Lynn. And then Framber Valdez. Valdez is a minus 258 favorite, which seems aggressive, but he did shut down Oakland the first time he faced them. He is pitching at home where he is at his best. Um, he's been really good in the second half of the season. His K prop sitting at 7.5, with you slightly on the under. So a couple really strong K prop numbers from those three guys. MME on this three gamer. Those are the three guys I'm really going to focus on. Maybe you're going to mix in a Feltner slightly. He's coming off what might be his best start of the season from a fantasy point perspective. Second best. Man, he struck out 10 in a game. That's kind of shocking, but his last start was against the Brewers, which is pretty solid. So maybe you're going to squeeze him in a little bit. He's got a K prop of 5.5. Juice on the under, but his K prop's much stronger than Junis and Spence at this point. So 3 at the top for sure, maybe sneaking in a little Feltner against Detroit. Now let's slide over here to the main slate. Bryce Miller wasn't overly strong against Texas the first time he faced them, but he's facing them at home, where his numbers have been exponentially better. Barely allowing home runs at home. Strikeout numbers skyrocket, win at home. Walk rate plummets, etc. Just a vastly different pitcher when pitching at home. He's sitting as a minus 162 favorite. K prop of 5.5, but juice is on the under. Not a huge K guy overall, but he just randomly has these bigger K games. Obviously, he's 9+ in 2 out of his last 5 starts, so he can randomly kind of explode for us. So he's definitely going to be an option we want to use. Got to figure out who Washington is throwing today. DraftKings, the DFS has DJ Hertz. The sportsbook has Mitchell Parker. With Mitchell Parker listed, Washington is a minus 185 favorite. Parker has a K prop of 5.5, which you saw on the under. If it's Hurts, he absolutely dominated Miami the first time he faced them. That was a while ago. It's a completely different Miami lineup. With that said, it's a much weaker Miami lineup overall. 23 plus in 2 out of his last 3 starts. Pretty solid upside. Looks like they're kind of limiting him a little bit as the season winds down. To be honest, whichever guy starts, if it's Hurts or if it's Mitchell Parker, I would go with those guys on this slate. Ryan Pepiot shut down Cleveland the first time he faced them. Has been better on the road from a fantasy perspective. Was pretty solid against Baltimore in his last start. Uh, K numbers have kind of stabilized here in the 4 to 6 range, taking away some of the upside. K prop of 5.5, juices on the under. He's a slight dog, game total of 8. Small slate, so I don't mind Pepiot, to be honest, at this point. Um, there isn't a lot of guarantees on this slate for pitching, so I think we just want to include him because I think we can probably get away with a 20 to 22 fantasy point performance by looking at these pitchers. Nestor Cortez had been moved to the bullpen, I thought, um, but he is getting the start here as a minus 166 favorite against Boston. K prop of 5.5. Um, his 2 starts against Boston have been so-so. The strikeouts have been there for sure, but he's allowing a lot of base runners. He's pitching at home where he has been his best this season. I think he might be a little motivated, so I think this might be a spot where we want to use him. I'm not in a hurry to use a bunch of pitching against Boston, but I think Cortez might be a sneaky option. Uh, One big thing is he's got to find a way to avoid Tyler O'Neill, who's hit home runs against lefties. Um, but aside from that, I think Cortez is in play. We're going to find out that most of these guys are going to end up in play, or these top 6 guys are going to be in play for us for sure. Montas pitching in San Francisco. As you know, I like using pitching in San Francisco. There's no hiding it at this point. Montes does give up some runs. He's going to walk some guys, but he's got some K upside. I like K upside. His K prop's at 5.5 right now. He's a minus 130 favorite. Game total of 7.5 at this point. Gavin Williams taking on Tampa Bay. Obviously, I've picked on Tampa Bay quite a bit. Sometimes not really working out for me, but he was okay against Tampa Bay the first time he faced them. No real strikeout upside in that matchup. He hasn't been that great at home. Coming off a terrible start, but that was against the Dodgers, so we kind of give him a pass when it happens against a top tier team. With that said, he was strong in back-to-back starts against Kansas City. He is the minus 142 favorite in that game. K prop of 6.5, juice slightly on the under, but I think he's going to be fairly popular. I mean, obviously it's 5 games, so a bunch of these guys are going to carry some ownership. So, but I'm not really interested in anybody else going down the list at this point. So there we have it. There's kind of a first look at the pitching on this pretty weak slate of games or day of games. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on to get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. And if you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.